Um,
Hello, hello, and welcome back for our exciting Game 2 of Ben's Party versus Executors. Game 1 was taken by by Executors on the back of a very, very fat lone druid, and he actually bans him out in the first round. Joining me, we have Rob and Roll. How you doing, Rob?
I'm alright. I'm looking forward to seeing the second match, seeing it hopefully go to a third match, because the first match was pretty exciting, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of the same. And I need to slow down when I speak, I'm just realising that now.
I think you're fine, but we got the same bands coming out as Game 1. Lone Druid, Bat Rider, Nyx Assassin, Wisps. Same reasons as before. Well, Lone Druid is the different one. I don't remember who the other band was. Excuse me. My bad. Darkseer coming out as our first pick. Very, very viable hero, as we saw in the last game. Ion Shell, Vacuum. Ability to go pretty much anywhere, any lane or in the jungle. Our band's pretty standard. Bat Rider with Sticky Napalm, able to control large portions of the game with the turn radius slow, as well as bonus damage. And the Flaming Lasso is an amazing single target pickoff ability. Wisp with Relocate, ability to jump anywhere on the map with a carry, or your primary farming hero get kills. And Nyx Assassin with the ever-violent Vendetta coming out of Cloak and dealing massive nuke damage to squishy supports. And this game is actually already going a lot slower than our last one was. I think at this point we are already in the second banning phase.
Yeah, and I was hoping something unusual would come out like a pudge, but after the pauses and the lag that the players were experiencing, the ping from the last match, I don't think we're ever going to see something like that.
Yeah, that's the only sad part about large ping. Not going to see any pretty off-the-wall picks that are very low ping intensive, such as a Pudge. And coming out from Ben's party, we're going to see a Nature's Prophet and a Gyro. I personally love Nature's Prophet. I mean, he's a fantastic hero. He offers global presence, he offers split push. You can build him a lot of different ways, whether it's ganking with Urn into Mechanism, or Shadow Blade for the split push into Sheepstick. He offers a lot of variability, and on the other side of Executors, we're going to see the Shadow Demon come out and Keeper of the Light, and that has the makings of a tri-lane Shadow Demon's disruption ability, and that's very interesting that they're going to go on and pick the Lifestealer anyway, especially because Shadow Demon's ultimate, the Demonic Purge, goes through Rage. Demonic Purge deals a slow very similar to Diffusal Blade, even to BKB targets. The key is that if you are in Rage or BKB, it will not deal the nuke damage at the end of it. But Shadow Demon is often picked to counter Lifestealer because of, Lifestealer's a melee carry, he has to run up and start hitting you, and Disruption will often be used on his target for 2.5 seconds to prevent the auto attacks from coming out, followed up with a Purge.
And I do like the Gyrocopter and the Lifestealer pickup. It's two very fan-dependent heroes, but if you stick one in the off lane and then one in the tri-lane, then you're going to be picking up the gold on both. Hopefully you're going to be picking up the gold on both of them. And it really goes through into the late game, because you don't have to shut down one, you have to shut down two heroes, especially with the Nature's Prophet. While this Nature's Prophet could be split pushing, or he could be building towards the sheep stick, so it causes a lot of havoc during the team fights.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Nothing is scarier than seeing like Lifestealer, Gyrocopter, and Lone Druid on a team. That's horrifying. It's it makes me shiver just thinking about it. And the bands coming out, we see a Lina ban. It looks like Ben's party is going to try and ban out more supports that synergize with Disruption, which makes sense normally, but considering that they need the supports and that Keeper of the Light has already been picked up, Executors only needs their mid and well, it depends where they send Darkseer. If they send Darkseer in the offlane, which is likely the case, they need a mid and a hard carry. And, Ben's party, it's going to be very interesting to see how they lane this, because Nature's Prophet can go in the offlane, he can go middle, you can give him solo short lane, or you put him in the jungle. And if they put him in the solo short lane, then you're going to see an offensive try, which makes sense. Generally, that's where you stick your Lifestealer. But if they put him in the jungle, then they may just completely abandon their offlane so that Lifestealer can get safe farm in a defensive tri-lane.
Well, I could see the gyrocopter being put in the off lane, the Nature's Prophet. Yeah, maybe being put in the mid, and then the Lifestealer being given the tri lane. But I think with the Prophet, you've got to be. Well, no, mid would be good for Prophet because he gets him that early levels and it gives him early gank ability with the Sprout being able to teleport around the map, and that would be. I'm not saying the best idea, but that would be great, putting that Nature's Prophet in the mid.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm actually very interested by this Executor ban on Bane. I'm surprised that they banned him considering, well, they do have their two supports. Bane is a fantastic hero. I love Bane. His ability to Fiend's Grip, his ultimate to go through BKB targets or rage targets. Just a fantastic all-around support shutdown kind of hero. And Queen of Pain is going to come out. I actually love this. You see that they have 4 intelligence heroes on Executors. Maybe this means you can see an Obsidian Destroyer pickup? I doubt it, considering that they need supports badly, and Rubik's going to come out as your first support. Rubik sees a ton of play. I mean, his ability to reject offensive tri-lanes is huge with telekinesis. He just picks you up and pushes you away. Not much, a whole lot you can do about it for 1.5 seconds. But Queen of Pain coming out, giving them a lot of... Oh, and the Anti-Mage. So we got 2 blinkers. There's going to be a lot of blinks for Rubik to steal. That definitely is the making of defensive tri-lane. Darkseer on their solo off lane, and Queen of Pain taking the middle for Executors.
And I'm surprised during the bans that the Phantom Lancer wasn't banned out because he was always a threat to be picked up by Executors. So I like to see what this last support is, and this could determine whether we're going to see an offensive or a defensive tri-lane.
I mean, it's also very interesting that you mentioned that, because they do have the Shadow Demon and they have the Caudal. I mean, Shadow Demon has been picked up as a counter to Phantom Lancer because he can create... Oh, and a Storm Spirit pickup coming out. Going to be an interesting game. Back to what I was saying, though, Shadow Demon had been picked up as a counter to Phantom Lancer because he can disrupt any one of Phantom Lancer's illusions or the Phantom Lancer himself and create his own Phantom Lancer army. But if you have twice as many Phantom Lancer armies, that's formidable, to say the least, even against a Lifestealer or a Gyrocopter or a Nature's Prophet. I mean, but then again you have the argument, oh, well, maybe they didn't pick up Phantom Lancer because of the Gyrocopter. I mean, Flat Cannon would hit all of your targets. He's a good counter to Phantom Lancer as a result of that.
Yeah, and I'm very interested to see the laning system now, because the only thing I can think of at the moment that's going through my head is going to be either a tri-lane with Nature's Prophet or a tri-lane with Gyrocopter and Lifestealer on the same lane, with the Stone Spirit going mid. Yeah, and I haven't seen this in quite a while, so it'd be interesting to see how he played. I mean, if he is going to be picking up the second farm, maybe position 3 hero, then he still looks to be pretty effective, especially with call down and being able to use his flat cannon.
Indeed. Alright, I'm going to introduce our Radiant side. It's not a Dota game unless there's a pause at the beginning of it. El Coco Loco is playing our Storm Spirit. Mike is taking the Nature's Prophet. Wicked taking our Gyrocopter. Luff on our Rubik, and finishing off our Russian friend, who I am just going to address as Lifestealer.
I've forgotten his name already. We're given a name to address him by, but yeah, we don't need that. That's professional. So on the Dire side, we do have Bafik on the Darkseer. We have Van Duken on the Shadow Demon. I'm going to call him Bakthaka on the Anti-Mage, just because I can. And Thu on the Queen of Pain.
Alrighty, and oh, it's a brief. Oh my goodness, we have a brief pause.
All
There's
right,
hope.
carry on.
We got some shoutouts coming out. Feel loved. You guys should feel loved. And we got all 5. It looks like they're moseying top. It's ironic because we've had a whopping 2. But carrying on, it looks like we got our defensive tri-lane coming out, which makes sense. Keeper of the Light, Shadow Demon, Anti-Mage. I'm curious to see what this Darkseer is doing. It looks like just based off of his positioning, it looks like he's either going to completely ignore the bottom lane, or he's taking
30
mid.
seconds to go.
Which doesn't make sense because of the way where Quap is sitting.
Um, I think he's looking to see if there's any supports coming down to check on this rune, and then maybe he's going to rotate bottom. But I think he's going to face. I know it's on Executors' team now, so the roles are reversed. But I think he's going to face the same problem that Darkseer for Ben's party had last match, where he's just not going to be able to pick anything up. He's going to have to be very careful on his position, and unless he rotates into the jungle quite early, he's just going to be flat down on his farm.
I tell you what's... I got a regen rune top. Is he going to kill it?
Got a feeling this is going to be
He's
good.
just going to ping it. And Nature's Prophet's going in the off lane. I'm actually very interested by this Lifestealer. He won a Quelling Blade first, and he is mauling this forest. Like, I mean, you can see the path cut through the trees right there. You can see he cut through there for double stacks. He cut these trees out. I mean, he really went to work on those trees to make it easier for his supports, and I really like that. I mean, sometimes it's hard as supports to get those pulls out, especially if you only have 3 tangos, and being able to abuse the Quelling Blade like that was very good. And as we can see, Darkseer, instead of waiting and getting no farm, is going to just go right into the jungle and try and get some early levels.
And I do think that's a good idea, and seeing the Lifestealer take down these trees, I think that's more a defensive thing, because it means that if the Dire wanted to come in and place the wards around the jungle, it's easy positioning for the Radiant just to be able to put down their wards, see, oh yeah, there's their ward, and we can get to it easily, instead of taking 10 minutes, or 6 minutes to look around for it.
Yeah, and we've got some, oh, is he going to get it? He's going to get the pull, and he got the hard camp pull. So right now, Nature's Prophet is going to get not a lot of farm. I mean, you have double pulls going out, stacks and double pulls going out for Executioners. I mean, this Anti-Mage is going to get some very good farm from here. You see him blinking up to start harassing the creep wave. I mean, I'm very impressed. This is very good work by Van Dushin on the Shadow Demon and Soul's Hunter on the Keeper of the Light. They're really making sure that not only does Keeper of the Light not get any farm, and as you can see, he just rotated. He's doing exactly what Darkseer is doing, and both teams are giving up their off lanes. And okay, I understand now. So Darkseer left the regen runes that he would be able to take it. A risky play, in the off chance that Storm would meander down there and there might be a fight, but I can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, and I think leaving these both long lanes to farm, I think the Radiant are going to come out on top, especially having the Gyrocopter and the Lifestealer and just not contesting them at all.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask you. Do you think, I mean, Anti-Mage late game brings his own split push because of Manta Fury. Well, that's technically what it is, Manta Style and Battle Fury, because the illusions just being able to push with a decent amount of health if he goes the heart route. So you think that the Radiant have it better off in the situation of just free farming carries?
Yeah, I mean, the Gyrocopter did start off as a support, but if you can carry on pulling these camps, pulling the creeps through, there's no reason just to turn him into a second carry on this lane, because the Lifestealer is going to be able to get the lane farm, and the Gyrocopter is just going to be able to get this jungle farm. The only thing is, if the Nature's Prophet needs to come in for some extra jungle, that's when it's going to get a bit confusing.
Indeed. I mean, and you actually bring up a good point, bringing up the Storm Spirit. I mean, he's actually beating the Quap in lane 15-3 to 11-3. He's taking a lot of harass, and I mean, it makes sense. Shadow Strike is a Queen of Pain's slowing ability is a pain. I mean, especially against Storm Spirit, who has no way to naturally evade it until he hits 6. However, these runes are all going. May as well be going to the Storm Spirit. I mean, it puts him at a huge advantage, being able to spam out his, what is it called, his Static Remnant, being able to farm the lane as well as pushing it to pressure the Quap. If he's allowed to get all of these runes, it's going to be bad, especially because, I mean, Storm Spirit is a Quap counter. If he rushes the Orchid, he just ball lightnings on the Quap and silence. Boom. Quap is going to get blown up, and that's going to be the end of it. Especially considering that Quap has a blink, I feel that she should be commanding these runes. And there you go. We're going to see her rotate top and get the DD.
Yep, but I think this Storm Spirit, either way, if he's not taking the runes, he's going to be getting the extra experience, which means he's going to be able to jump on this Queen of Pain. He's going to have more farm.
We're going to see some action. Yeah, you got the Scream of Pain going out. Shadow Strike. I'm surprised she didn't. There goes the DD pop. You're going to try and man up. He's got the Shadow Strike on him, trying to bottle up. She can blink up and a Scream, the last hit, and there's your first blood in the middle lane. Well, we got one first blood. We're one for two. Not bad.
So much for diplomacy.
Nice
And,
nice
we can only
manning
get
up.
better.
Yeah, it can only get better as long as we're not Toby. We'll do
Radiant's mid
fine.
tower's coming apart.
But Quap, that was very good play by her, manning up, using the DD. Storm definitely didn't see it coming, considering that he didn't have vision of it. The only way to have seen it is if he would have clicked on Queen of Pain in the middle there. TP's back in, goes right back into farming. Big early advantage for Quap. I believe she's level 7 now. She just popped it while Storm is still only level 5. And he's going to be Storm is going to continue bottle crowing.
And I do think now this gives the Queen of Pain the advantage. Obviously, she's got her ultimate out now, but it just forces the Storm Spirit to... He has to firm up. He can't contest these runes. He needs to be able to get this firm, get the experience, so he can get his level 6 and maybe roam and gank. But even with the top lane, there's not a lot you can do because there's no heroes to gank on the bottom lane, and if he goes top, he's going to be on his own against 4 heroes.
Yeah, I also just want to point out that... oh, actually, we have a TP coming in. Queen of Pain getting ganked up. No levels in Sprout? No levels in Sprout, so he's unable to deal with Queen of Pain blinking after he blinks, excuse me. And something I want to point out is that Lifestealer had like a 4.5 minute Midas. Very, very fast Midas. And you're gonna see it show. I mean, very quickly. He's already level 7. He's the same level as Queen of Pain.
And that is... that's scary.
I mean, that's what it is. It's scary.
Yeah. And so he couldn't have missed any, well, maybe 1 or 2 last hits, but he's just going to snowball. And if no one comes down to shut him down, but then the same thing with the anti-mage, then we're going to be looking to see these two engage, and they're going to have to be focused down.
Well, I mean,
but like I say, with this Gyrocopter getting the secondary firm, taking on and I'm going to call it a secondary carry role, then the Dire are going to have problems, because if they focus down the Lifestealer, the flat cannon's just going to come out from the Gyrocopter, and if they focus down the Gyrocopter, this Lifestealer is just going to walk up, say thank you very much, I'm going to take one of your supports.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, like there will be these clashes, but look at the gold per minute. Lifestealer is a full 100 gold per minute over the Anti-Mage. A full 100. I mean, granted, that's partly due to the Midas. He's been able to get about 2 procs off of it now, 2 activations, but still, 100 gold. That's huge. I mean, what Executors do have going for them is that Anti-Mage, Queen of Pain, and Darkseer are following that up, and you can see that in their last hits and the first blood on Queen of Pain. I mean, 55, 46 for Darkseer and Anti-Mage respectively, 30 plus first blood for the Queen of Pain. But I mean, that Lifestealer, it's 7:30 at 10 minutes. You should have about 100 CS if you're including both creep denies and last hits. He's sitting at 76, something around there. 80, 83, both combining both. They're gonna have to do something about him. And you see the Darkseer rotating down now. He's hit his level 7. He's got 2 points in Surge. He can definitely deal with a solo Lifestealer. And as you can see, the supports have rotated out. It looks like they're gonna probably start stacking? Question mark? I'm not sure. Rubik's sitting top trying to get some early levels. Some much needed levels too. I mean, but if they're not careful, these supports can definitely shut them down.
And I like this from the Darkseer. I like that he's rotated out. He's going checking the rune now, but I like that he's rotated out to try and shut down this Lifestealer, because if you allow this Lifestealer just free farm, especially with the 4-minute hand of Midas, you're going to be looking at, most definitely he's going to be going for his armlet fairly soon, and he's going to be looking at, I don't know what the play's going to build, but if you're looking at an Assault Cure or something like that, he's going to roll up and he's going to basically going to say, you can't touch me.
Can't touch this. Hammer time. Be careful.
Was trying to avoid that, but yeah.
But more, I mean, something else that's very important though is that the supports. I mean, compare your supports. Let's go levels real quick, if I can find the hotkey for that. So the Gyrocopter and Rubik are sitting at level 3, both of them. And alternatively, the Executor support, Souls Hunter and Vandushin, have been pulling like fiends. And now they're gonna probably take this tier 1 tower top. I mean, they're both level 5. And they're both about halfway to level 6. They're gonna be hitting level 6. If they start forcing team fights, I don't think Ben's party is gonna be able to deal with it.
No, and again, if they just want to go for this tier 2 now, there's not a lot that's going to stop them. I mean, the only thing you can do is rotate the Rubik and the Gyrocopter onto the lane, and like you say, the level 3. What are they going to do? They're going to sit behind this tower until the enemies get close, and then they're just going to have to run off.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet is being forced out of the jungle to come and deal with them. I mean, he's only level 5 as well. Up, and I missed a kill. It looks like Queen of Pain got greedy under the tower, and Electric Vortex was able to pin her. And he's actually going a very interesting build. Normally, I see Electric Vortex getting maxed and then Overload getting maxed as well with it, so you increase your amount of overall damage based on your spells that you cast. But very good play by Storm Spirit being able to catch out Queen of Pain under his tower. But Queen of Pain was not able to burn her ultimate, which is probably why he was able to get the kill.
Yeah, and if you look at his build, he's not maxing that. He's not maxing his Vortex, maybe because it's only another 0.5 on when you get to level 4. Whereas if you want the burst damage, take it on a Queen of Pain, because you know as soon as that Vortex wears off, it's just going to blink away.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Right now we've got a 2,000 gold lead for. I just derped and brain farted and forgot what it was. 2,000 gold lead for the dire side Executors. Oh, we got a disconnect coming up from our Gyrocopter in the middle of a pull. We got a pause coming out. Doing more pulling. What is Nake sitting at? I'm afraid. He's rushing. It looks like he's going drums, phase drums, very standard. Drums has its activatable, as well as passive movement speed and attack speed buffs. When you activate the drum, charge all friendly units. I think I may only be heroes actually. I'm not sure if it goes to creeps as well. Receive another additional 5% attack speed buff, as well as a slight movement speed buff. Definitely something needed for Nakes, considering the Lifestealer. Excuse me. Considering he is melee, and as a result can be kited around, especially seeing, as I mentioned earlier during the draft, Shadow Demon with his Demonic Purge is definitely going to play hell with him trying to whack some of these supports.
And if you look at the net worth, this Lifestealer, it's a full 800 in front of the
well, it's only going to get higher.
Yeah, especially with this Hand of Midas, so they need to be looking to take... Executioners need to be looking to take another tower, maybe rotate mid, take a tower there, or they need to be looking to rotate 3 or 4 men down to the bottom and just take out that Lifestealer.
Yeah, I mean, and you see, they might actually be doing that. You can see 4 heroes have clumped up here in the middle lane. We got Darkseer going to start applying pressure with his Ion Shell. And Scream of Pain is going to come out from Queen of Pain. These creep waves are going to start getting evaporated, and that's something that we didn't even touch upon, is that not only do Executors have push, but they also have counter push. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Ben's party is going to be able to push the base and the towers, considering that they have so much counter push on Executors. And I'm interested to see why they, well, granted, a lot of the supports are missing. Fun fact, that most people may not know is that Tier 1 towers have no backdoor protection, so you do not need your creep wave to be able to take out the tower. Uh-oh, and Nyx is coming in. Oh, so then there's your disruption defensively being used to prevent... Queen of Pain's going to get going on with Electric Vortex. Nature's Wrath is going to come through. We have a homing missile coming out. Big! Oh, I don't even remember what her ultimate's called. Sonic Wave coming out, going out, clearing up the Gyrocopter. And that was exactly what we had been talking about. You have level 5 supports versus level 3 supports. And as a result, they're not nearly as viable. Keeper of the Light coming through with a big Illuminate. Shadow Demon coming in with big Disruption. He's actually maxing Shadow Poison, so the more ticks of Shadow Poison he's able to land on you, and they just got level 6 on the Shadow Demon. So even if Lifestealer's going to come in again like that, he's going to have even less success, considering the Demonic Purge will go out on him.
Yeah, and if you look at the hero levels, you can see this Lifestealer and Stone Spirit level 10 and 9. But the next 3 heroes, 9, 9 and 8, are all dire heroes. So it's going to be really hard if they are going to be forcing team fights, if they are going to be rotating, trying to take towers, to try and anti-push this lane, because they're just not going to have the skills, the health or anything like that, and they find this big creep camp here.
Oh, wow. They were... Oh, goodness gracious, that's a quad stack. Actually, no, that's a quintuple stack. You got 2 centaur, or a centaur, 2 centaurs, a satyr, a troll, and 2 furbolgs. And they're going to clean this up, but if they're not careful, Rubik's going to come in and steal it all. Nope, Scream of Pain's going to get the majority of it. Very good play, very good ward. I mean, knowing that you have a Gyrocopter on the other team and checking their jungle accordingly. Very aggressive play, good play, and you see sentries coming out to try and counter ward them, more aggressive wards coming out. I really like Executioner's ward play. Both games, it's been very aggressive and it's been very effective.
Much longer.
And if you take a look, you can the only two wards for Ben's party are just near the mid, and it's not very effective because you can't use those for ganks. You can see, yes, it's very defensive coming up through the ancients, just to make sure that no one can come up through behind the mid and take a gank. But with the way they're playing now, it's not going to be effective at all, because they're just going to take this tier 1 tower and then they might rotate bottom, they're going to go back top. And so Ben's party need to be looking to put down more wards and really go offensive.
That was also that's a very interesting use of Fortify right there. They used it for the bottom lane, which was receiving a lot of creep harass, even though Lifestealer was there. So now if Executors want to take this mid tower, there's no Fortify, there's nothing stopping them. Especially considering now we have Anti-Mage who's pressuring their top lane. And he's going to have a Battle Fury done soon. It's also important to note that Lifestealer was able to pick up his drums.
Yeah, and I think this is what Executors did last match. They just went extremely aggressive, and they just made Ben's party react all the time and not let Ben's party play their game, which means that they're always playing catch up and they're never really being able to set up ganks of their own.
And that's huge. Being able to make an opponent play your game, get them out of their groove, their comfort zone, and do what you want them to do is definitely one big step in being able to take a game. And Queen of Pain picks up an Ogre Club first. Makes me think she's going to build Agonist as her first item. Not a bad first item. Puts her Sonic Wave cooldown on at 40 seconds. Otherwise, it seems like a pretty standard game. We have Darkseer. Now this is where it gets hard for Lifestealer, though, because we have Darkseer double Ion Shell, which at max level deals 90 damage a second. Lifestealer's Feast cannot deal with that. There's no way he can sit in lane and successfully accrue last hits with double Ion Shell in the lane. And as a result, this is allowing Darkseer to kind of control the lane, and he even has his mech up already. I don't know when he got it, but it was a pre-15.5 minute mech on a Darkseer was forced to start in the jungle, which is very good, and you see double Ion Shells coming out again. It's going to pressure, this Lifestealer out of the lane. They're not careful, and the Battle Fury is now finished on the Anti-Mage.
And this Lifestealer, there's no way for him to counter, like you say, these Iron Shells. Okay, you can use the hand of minus once every 90 seconds, but it's going to be ineffective for him to use his Rage to try and deny this Iron Shell. So I think he's just going to have to do what the Darkseer did and rotate into the jungle and look to other lanes to get his farm.
And right now we got a smoke gank coming out. Okay, Quap's going to bottle the regen rune top. Rubik and Gyrocopter moving around behind the Ancients. They're thinking about trying to pick off this Anti-Mage, and it's going to be pretty hard to do, considering Anti-Mage's innate blink ability. Just blink, I believe he has it max, just blink 1200. Oh, and they're going to get the lift, coupled with Storm Spirit, Electric Vortex. Oh, they're going to hit him with the Fade Bolt. Gyrocopter's waiting for him to blink away, but the homing missile's coming in. And, oh, he's so close! And they're going to be able to pick off the Anti-Mage. Very good pickoff by Ben's party on that Anti-Mage. Slowing down his farm, getting their support some levels, getting them some experience, getting them some gold, all of which they desperately needed. Very good play by the Storm Spirit coming in, and Storm Spirit actually has his first Oblivion Stab, so he's definitely going that Orchid Rush to try and shut down this Queen of Pain.
And that's massive, especially with, you can see the Gyrocopter sitting on top of it, going towards more the Dire Tower because he was expecting this Anti-Mage to blink up. So this Anti-Mage just blinked to the right and he nearly got away. And if that Storm Spirit hadn't been there, this Anti-Mage would have got away, and it would have just wasted more time for the supports who really need more levels, because you can see they're still both bottom 6 and 5 of the hero levels, with this Keeper of the Light and the Shadow Demon being 7 and 8. It means they've got a lot of catch-up to play, and this is what I'm on about. Executors, are just making them play catch-up all the time.
Exactly. And it's a big pickoff. Anti-Mage is dead. He's not farming. In the meantime, Lifestealer's using his Midas. Actually, and here's where the real potential comes. You have Lifestealer Nyx bombs. They're gonna go out. Lifestealer's gonna pop out. Lift. It doesn't matter if mechanisms pop. They're gonna throw out. Gyrocopter's gonna throw out his ultimate just for good measure, and there's a drum activation. They're gonna try and catch a Shadow Demon. Storm blinking out, being able to hit him. Buyback coming out from the Darkseer. Purge is being used to slow down the Lifestealer and Soul Catcher thrown out to get them to back off. In addition with the Ion Shell. Oh! Oh! I'll catch that later. Darkseer with a huge wall, hitting 3, being able to get the heroes, and we got Tellies. They're out. 3 for 1, 3 for 2, and a buyback. Now that was important, and I got tongue-tied, so I wasn't able to explain it. Darkseer vacuumed all of the units back, so Quap's Sonic Wave whiffed.
And that's just, it's going to come with practice.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think he hit maybe 2 out of the 4 heroes or something like that, which is still massive. Because it just means that once they went back into that wall, when the illusions came up, they were just able to mop up.
Yeah. I mean, it was a big play. I mean, that was big plays. And Lifestealer actually goes down. Oh, he did go down. Oh, my goodness. He didn't get his TP off. I thought he TP'd out. I got really confused. I didn't know where he got picked off. So that was...
Yeah, it was the Storm Spirit was able to get out with the TP,
so that was
which is big.
4 for 2. Definitely a very good trade in Executor's favor. I mean, BP getting a little bit too aggressive. I mean, they didn't know that Queen of Pain was coming, and now they threw the ward down at the bottom. They threw the ward down at the bottom rune spot. Uh-oh. Rubik, they can see you. They can see you. We got a vacuum coming back. Shadow Strike and Illuminate plus Ion Shell to pick up the kill and the counter wards. Very good play, very good rotation.
This is it. You can just see how the Executors have this great ward play. They might not be perfect on the team play, like you say, the vacuum, taking the heroes out of the Queen of Pain. But stuff like the ward placement, they have one over the river now, and then they had one down in the Radiant Jungle. So it was brilliant because they could see the team coming up, and that's how the Queen of Pain knew to come in and get that gank off.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's exactly it. My first question is, does Ben's party have wards available? Okay, so they don't have wards available, so Rubik just bought one and then just lost it, so that would explain their lack of vision. Can't always blame them for not having wards up if they can't have any wards up. But no, exactly what you said. Vision is so crucially important in Dota. It is all about... Hold on one sec.
Alright, carry on.
Jody saying, then tell him to go. But yes, no, vision. Vision is so important in this game. If you don't have vision, you die. It's as simple as that. And you saw it in that last team fight. Ben's party didn't see Queen of Pain coming up and hitting them with a Sonic Wave. It's huge.
And I do think there's more areas for them to be able to put the walls down. Obviously, this river entrance here, that's a big thing. But if the Radiant were to put off just to the right-hand side of this creep camp on the right-hand side of the river entrance, then they get ward vision, rune vision, and then they'd be able to see coming up through the Dire River. And the only thing that they'd miss, maybe, they'd be able to see this jungle area here, and I'm trying to point out on the camera because I can't draw, which I just realised people can't see. So, this where the steps are to the Dire River, they'd be able to see this area here, and the only thing they wouldn't be able to see. Yes, can I? Right, this area, yeah, if you can see that pink.
Alright, I got you.
Right, they get ward vision there, they get ward vision really around there, they get rune vision. The only thing they wouldn't get is vision here.
Yeah. No, but I mean, that's... What's more important is that you see the rotation coming out from the Tier 1 tower. I mean, and that's Darkseer bought back and TP'd in immediately. And it was a very good buyback considering they bursted him down. The only thing that he didn't have was the mechanism. But he still had Wall of Illusion, he still had Vacuum, he still can spam out his Ion Shell. And that proved very costly for Ben's party, who were doing a very good job early, and now if you look at the gold graph, they were sitting around 2,000, it dropped down to about 5.5. Actually, that's 2.5. It's about a 7,500 gold lead for the Dire. So now they've got their work cut out for them in terms of winning that back.
And I think that the Ben's party need to be looking at stacking Ancients just to be able to get that quick goal, that quick experience back up.
We have another Lifestealer bomb. Storm waiting, seeing... Oh, and apparently the Radiance Courier got picked off. I just noticed that in the bottom right-hand corner.
That sucks. I mean, that always sucks.
No, it does. I mean, in addition to giving the other team 175 gold per hero, I mean, it sucks.
And that was what I was looking towards at the very beginning. I forgot to mention it, that when Storm Spirit went for that initial gank on the Queen of Pain and the Nature's Prophet TP'd in on the mid round about there, the courier, the Dire Courier did come in, and Nature's Prophet, if he'd shifted focus to that courier, he would have been able to pick it off. I think it was maybe 3 or 4 minutes into the game.
No, you're very right. I just realized something, so I am adding it to the stream. Don't mind me, viewers. I apologize. We have a Roshan attempt going on simultaneously. While I slap this on the stream, don't mind me.
Dire's top tower is getting beat down.
And as you can see, they're going for it, and they have the ability to do this because of the mechanism. I don't think they and they just pulled in the Anti-Mage. I lied. And so you're going to have Caudle TPing up. Uh-oh, I saw a Storm Spirit going on Caudle, and that is another nuke spawn. But unfortunately, the Radiant, Ben's party, they have no idea that this Roshan is going on. So, I mean, they think they just traded Caudle for a free tower. Caudle and a tower for nothing. Like, oh, that's fantastic. But Lifesteal getting the last hit, but give it another 5 or 10 seconds, and it's going to be, oh, snap. There it goes. Who's going to claim it? Okay, Queen of Pain's gonna take the Aegis.
I think the Castle Tower trade, it's still worth it. I mean, obviously you never want to give away a Roshan if you can help it, but it gives Ben's party that little bit more of map control. They take down a hero, it stops his levels, it stops his farm, you know, the experience, and it gives it to the heroes on Ben's party. But I think we need to be looking at now is trying to push down that bottom, trying to push down the mid, take away the tier 1 towers, and just take away that map control that Executors have over Ben's party.
No, that's very accurate. Interesting pickups we got on this Keeper of the Light due to his farming and their pulling. He's got a Ghost Scepter already, and a Medallion, as well as being the Ward Master, throwing out wards all over the place. He's got 3 Observers and 2 Sentries. I mean, it's just another sign. Let's look at the Shadow Demon. He's got mana boots. Oh boy, I hear somebody dying.
And that was they picked off the Anti-Mage, which is a big. The more they can shut him down, the more they have a chance of getting back into the groove and getting the game back in the rhythm.
Well, what's scary is El Coco Loco on the Storm Spirit. I mean, he's got 2 Oblivion staffs now. He's only 500 gold away, 525, 625 gold away from his Orchid. I mean, once that comes out, Queen of Pain isn't safe. Anti-Mage is even less safe. As you can see, they didn't even need the Orchid to completely kill off the Anti-Mage. I mean, well, Queen of Pain does have a BKB, so she'll be able to remove the silence from herself, but if you're being forced to remove silences with BKB charges, that's just not a good trade. And we got the Ghost Scepter going up. Gonna throw out a Sprout. Uh-oh, double damage, Queen of Pain coming out. Shadow Blade being used by Nature's Prophet to get away. Lifestealer's gonna TP out, and channeling TP from Nature's Prophet. They can't do anything about it.
With that Ghost Scepter, I think if he gets caught out on his own with the Nature's Prophet ultimate, with the static remnants from the Storm Spirit, he needs to be careful when he uses that, because if they get those off, then he's just going to pop. It is a good item, so that when stuff like that happens, when a gank comes out, he can't just be auto-attacked down, but he does need to be careful when he uses it.
Yeah, I mean, 40% bonus damage is nothing to scoff at, especially considering that the way Nature's Wrath works is that the more targets it bounces to, the more damage it deals. I mean, that can turn into a big fat nuke, especially in the middle of a team fight. And we have some shenanigans. We have some shenanigans going on in the middle lane. TP in by Quap is going to back off the Lifestealer, Nature's Prophet, who's cloaked, but they can see that. Excuse me, I had a burp. They can see the Storm Spirit, and Nature's Prophet also has a Midas. And you know what? It looks like he's also building an Orchid himself. He's got 1 Oblivion staff. So it looks like they're really trying to shut down these heroes, the Anti-Mage with silences, the Queen of Pain with silences, and that's really going to hurt, I mean, not just their team fight, but that's huge. That's just shutting them down entirely.
Yep. I mean, if you can get this, excuse me, if you get it off on the Queen of Pain, you get it off on the Anti-Mage, they can't blink out, so if you get to them and it's maybe a 2v1 or it's a 3v2, or you're just going to be able to shut them down, because what are they going to be able to do to fight back? Okay, Anti-Mage does have its auto attack, but when you've got Rage, when you've got your Vortex, when you've got your Static Remnants, it's going to be ineffective just auto attacking.
We got a Basher pickup on the Lifestealer. First real big item. He also already has his armlet, so he's doing very well in terms of farm. We have a Smoke Gate coming out, and they're going to be revealed. Uh-oh. And the dust is used, but he is gone. They are not going to be able to catch that Nature's Prophet unless Quap is man-moding, using or popping your BKB, trying to pick him off. Illuminate's going to come through and hit the Nature's Prophet, but he is too wily with those jukes. Storm coming in, Lifestealer's going to infest him. Oh, he got to blink out! Does he have it? Lifestealer's going to be able to pound him down. There goes your Aegis of the Immortal. Open Wounds is going to be used on the Darkseer, as well as the Darkseer Wall and Ion Shell. Mechanism's going to pop. Quap is going to come back up, and Anti-Mage has finished his Mana Style. So that was a very good trade, trying to be very aggressive, picking off Nature's Prophet, and instead they trade the Aegis for it, and the most important BKB charge, the 10-second one.
Bottom towers getting the
And I think that's a good trade. No one died, but they did take down the Aegis, so it removes that threat. There's not the, oh, we're going to take him down, but if we're still in a team fight, he's going to come back up with full health and full mana, and he's just going to burst us down.
That's why it's also, I mean, something to keep in mind. Queen of Pain and Storm Spirit are two of the best heroes to get the Aegis on, considering that they both get decent health pools, considering that you build most of the items on them require ultimate orbs. Sheepstick, Lincoln Sphere, if you're feeling particularly frisky, Scotty, you end up building a lot of health on them. And since they're wholly mana dependent and you burn through all of their mana, they come back with full mana. Hey, I can do my combo a million times now. Uh-oh. And I heard the ball lightning, but I missed where he was. Keeper of the Light getting picked up in the middle lane. But Storm Spirit doesn't have enough mana. He's going to try and bail out. Oh, high ground, Fog of War. Ooh, and he cancels the Sonic Wave. Wow. Big
and if
plays.
he'd just gone for a blind Sonic Wave, then up those steps, he would have taken him out straight away. And
what's for lunch, Mom? Oh, it's a big plate of plays, guys. Very, very good play by Storm Spirit. Using the Fog of War to his advantage, TPing right at the lip. And I agree with you, that would have been the time if, I'm pretty sure Scream of Pain was still on cooldown, but no, I would have thrown out that Sonic Wave. Definitely, try and pick up that kill on Storm Spirit. It would have been a big pickup.
just going back to the Keeper of the Light with the Ghost Scepter, if he gets caught out by a Gyrocopter, I know Gyrocopter's not a very high, well, he's got to a high level, he's level 11 now, higher than this Keeper of the Light, but if he catches him out and gets the missile barrage off, this Keeper of the Light's just going to go down if he pops the Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a very good point. Rocket Barrage is... Oh, I missed that kill. I just caught the Keeper of the Light getting picked up in the top lane, and then I missed the Darkseer getting picked up in the middle lane. But it looks like the Darkseer getting picked off was just another function of Orchid, Infest, Storm Spirit bombs. Very good play in the top lane. Anti-Mage blinked to the Nature's Prophet. He tried to Shadow Blade away. Disruptor, excuse me. Shadow Demon was in the area, used his dust that was on him. Nature's Prophet tried to run away. Anti-Mage blinked onto him and used his Mana Void to cancel the TP, and as a result they were able to pick up a kill on the Nature's Prophet. Very good pickoffs both ways. I mean, there was no response to it. You lose a Nature's Prophet, you lose Darkseer. That's a lot of farming. Those are big important heroes. Nature's Prophet, your split pusher. Darkseer with his mechanism.
Radiant's top
Darkseer, on top of having the mechanism, also has Pipe of Insight completed. So he's getting his farm on. Let's look at this. Where is it? Goldgraph started evening out around 5,000. And our last hits are very scary. I mean, Anti-Mage got his Manta Style and his Battle Fury. He's sitting at 255 CS. Lifestealer's calmed down a little bit because of the amount of ganks that he's been doing, but he's sitting on 2,700 gold himself with his Vasher, Armlet, Midas, drums all completed. I mean, he's doing very well for himself as well. Queen of Pain. Oh, I hear a blink going out. BKB being burned again to prevent them from killing the Queen of Pain. And that, you know what? I'll take that any day of the week. If I can scare you to the point that you're wasting BKB charges when I may be out of range. I mean, he didn't even... Storm Spirit blinked, and he wasn't even close enough to Electric Vortex him. They're nervous. This Storm Spirit is making them nervous, and they're going to go on the Anti-Mage with an Infest Bomb into an Orchid. He used the Mana Style to get rid of the... silence, but it wasn't enough.
No, and this is what Ben's party need to be doing. They need to be roaming the map, they need to be taking down the Anti-Mage, they need to be taking down the Queen of Pain, because without those, there's not a lot of burst damage. And if you take down a Darkseer, you know, with both a with a pipe and the mech, then there's nothing to keep the other heroes safe. So if they can keep catching these heroes out of position, they're just going to steamroll.
Oh, and you've seen it. I mean, what's the Quap's died once. Anti-Mage has died 3 times. I mean, and those all were on the back of Lifestealer, Storm Spirit, and Fest Bombs. On top of now having an Orchid. I mean, it's hard to deal with. It's hard to deal with that, knowing that nowhere is safe. I mean, it's almost like having Wisp plus Tiny or Wisp and CK on the map. Where are you safe? How do you defend yourself from a Lifestealer Stormbomb? And we see it again. No Infest, but I mean, they're going to go on him. Silence is coming out, uses it much later, so he can't use the Surge, and you're just... Stolen Scream of Pain, Fade Bolt, Call Down being used, Rocket Barrage. He's trying to run, but he can't get out of there. We got Demonic Purge coming out, however, and Soul Catcher going out on... Oh, big Mana Void coming out on a no-mana Rubik. And Storm's going to be... Oh, the offensive disruption coming out, preventing the Storm Spirit, and he's going to go down too. So you trade 3 for run because Darkseer is able to juke around. Support is able to come in. Big plays by the Anti-Mage, taking out the majority of both support's health with his Mana Void. And then Shadow Demon coming in with Disruption, who now has just completed a Force Staff. Big play, big comeback. They really needed those pickoffs.
And it looks like this Keeper Light is going to be picked off on top by the Nature's Prophet and the Lifestealer. But I think they really needed to take down that Storm Spirit. He's up to 7 kills. He's got more than double the amount of kills on the top kills.
And Queen of Pain's going to BKB out, but Abyssal Blade just got picked up. She did... Wow. Next level. Nature's Prophet was sitting at the secret shop so Lifestealer could buy his Abyssal Blade. And so when he popped out, not only did he land a first hit bash on the Queen of Pain, but then he Abyssal Bladed her. So Queen of Pain is forced to burn another BKB charge, putting her down to 7 seconds. And that was good play.
Yep, and like I say, they keep finding these heroes out of position. Where Executors should be looking to 5-man now, maybe group up, push down the mid. They're just not. They're sending 2 or 3 heroes, or 1 or 2 heroes even, into these positions. And all Ben's party are doing, they rotate 2 heroes in, the Lifestealer and the Storm Spirit, or the Lifestealer and Nature's Prophet, and they just pick them off.
Oh wow, this team fight. I don't know if you caught any of it, but in brief summary, Shadow Demon was able to find the Nature's Prophet, and I was getting curious as to why the Nature's Prophet wasn't just manning up on the Shadow Demon. I mean, it's a Nature's Prophet, he has Shadow Blade, he can probably take out that Shadow Demon, but then with a combination of Purge and the rotation in, Anti-Mage just finishes hard. Anti-Mage was able to take out the Nature's Prophet, and Storm Spirit had no mana from a combination of burning all his mana trying to pick off the Shadow Demon and Mana Leak from Keeper of the Light. Anti-Mage walks in, Mana Voids 2 heroes, but he targets the Storm Spirit, nuking all of his health. Call Down being used to no avail. Just big win in a team fight by Executors, giving them a second Aegis, giving them a heart on Anti-Mage. I mean, that was the team fight that they needed.
Yep, and that's what I was talking about. They have 4 or 5 heroes positioned up, so when Ben's party come in for the gank, it just fails. They take the team fight, and now they can push down the mid.
I mean, that was very big. I don't think they had any... They don't have any buybacks either. Storm is the only one with buybacks. There's nothing they could do about it. They're going to try and do another Lifestealer bomb.
Top tower's getting beat down.
But if you look on the top, you can see this Nature's Prophet split pushing, while Ben's party just keep them out, keep Executors out of the mid.
I mean, and that's exactly what I was talking about during the draft phase. I mean, Nature's Prophet, split push extraordinaire. I'm interested to see who they're going to go on, because they can't focus the Anti-Mage because the Queen of Pain does too much damage, as well as the Darkseer, who also has his vacuum wall combo up again, and they're blinking in. Oh boy, Chaos is going out. We have focus on the Keeper Light. Keeper Light's going to fall. Queen of Pain's going to go down too before he gets her Sonic Wave off. But Mana Void's going to come out, clearing out heroes. Queen of Pain's buying back. Storm Spirit's buying back. Gyrocopter may be going down. Silence coming out. Storm Spirit, or be able to pick off the Gyrocopter. They're focusing him down. Anti-Mage down now with the Silence, but he's able to blink out. Nature's Prophet's going down. Man-moding up here. Aegis is going to be popped. All that's left, though, is this Queen of Pain. But Storm has no mana. Lifestealer has no health. They need to go heal up. Lifestealer needs to go heal up quicker. They're just going to attrition this down. And that was 2 buybacks. Darkseer and Quap buying back, getting there as fast as they can. Support's getting taken out. So all in all, that was a 4 for 3, 5 for 3 if you count the Aegis. Very good hold by Ben's party. Unfortunately, they're going to probably lose this tier 3 tower since Fortify's on cooldown. And we have a rotation coming in. They're going to go for the Quap again. Unfortunately, you had a miscommunication there, and Anti-Mage is going to pick off this Storm Spirit. You had Electric Vortex going out on... BKB's getting picked up on Gyro too. He's transitioning into that role that you mentioned. Open Wounds coming out. They're trying to pick up... Oh, and there's your bash. Is he going to get another one? Oh, he gets hit by the first Gyrocopter call down ultimate. Homing Missile's going to follow him out, but no more bashes. But that... The reason they lost that little engagement there, you had Electric Vortex from Storm going out on Queen of Pain, who immediately after it was able to BKB. And then Storm's silence went out on the Anti-Mage, and all that he had to do was Mana Style and reject the silence. And as a result, he got burned down. I mean, Scream of Pain, Ion Shells, 3 Anti-Mages hitting you, you have no mana anymore.
And I think what they could have done is, when this anti-mage blinked from the low ground into the high ground to the left side of the racks, instead of going for the 4 men that were still on the low ground, just shift your... shift to this anti-mage that's out of position. Yes, okay, you're going to need the creeps to keep these 4 heroes on the low ground, but it's going to take them 2 or 3 seconds to get in. By that time, you can burst down the anti-mage and turn around and say, we've still got 5 heroes with decent health, and we're just going to pick you off.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's looking pretty dire now. No pun intended. 10,000 gold lead for the Dire's team. Executors, very good team fight play out of them. Nature's Prophet just got picked off in the top lane. Combination of Shadow Demon having dust. He has dust on him all the time. Nature's Prophet trying to run away. Disruption into Blinking Anti-Mage. 5-second cooldown on Blink, and we're going to have a Life Stealer Bomb coming out, trying to pick off this Anti-Mage. He's silenced. Abyssal Blade coming out as well. Do they have enough damage? Mana Cell coming out. Additional bashes coming out, and they're going to be able to take off that Anti-Mage. Wow. Big pick off. 100 seconds of cooldown. Does he have buyback? Yes, he does, in case they pressure. But, no, they needed that. And at this point, Ben's party needs to stall. They have to stall. They need fatter heroes.
They do. I'd just like to point out the Anti-Mage picked up the Sacred Relic before he died, so possibly, fingers crossed, you know, Rapier.
Game 2, 1 Rapier. Looks like we're going to have a good league if we see some Rapiers getting consistently picked up.
But I do think here, where there's 4 heroes for the Dire and there's 5 heroes up for Ben's party, they need to find a way. If you look, this Darkseer is on his own, and then the Shadow Demon was in the middle of the river. They need to be putting the wards up, they need to be looking for these ganks while they're at an advantage.
Well, again, as we mentioned earlier, they don't have any wards available, so their wards are on cooldown constantly. But I mean, I agree with you. It also depends. Scythe of Vice getting picked up on Queen of Pain. That's going to be pretty scary. But when I just clicked through all their supports. They don't have any more wards. I mean, it also look at where these wards are. These are very defensive wards coming out from Ben's party. Assault Cuirass pickup on Lifestealer, another big item. He's approaching 6th slot. The only other thing he can really do is sell his drums, pick up something else. I wonder what that'll be. Might be a Mjolnir, or hell, we might see a Rapier out of him.
I think at this point, it's safe for him to sell off, maybe use his Hand of Midas one more time and then sell that off, and then it's going to go on this Darkseer.
Oh, speaking of that, you got the Darkseer. He's popped. Cancel TP by
something about that bottom tower.
By both of them, actually. Oh, this coddle. Oh, wow! Force staff coming out, forcing them to waste mana, waste call down. Oh, and unfortunately a late fortify coming out from the Dire team. Very good play by that Keeper of the Light, though.
Going back to this Lifestealer, if he was to sell off his Hand of Midas and just go straight for a Desolator, he'd just be able to rip through the Anti-Mage hat or not.
No, you're right. I mean, he may be doing that next item. It's not that uncommon to see, and he actually just found their Ancient stack. And they can see that they're rotating in because of these trees. What's he going to do? Oh, he has to leave it. But he took... You notice what he did, though? He took all the big creeps. He took all the creeps worth 100, 200 gold and left only the small ones. Very good on-the-fly play, and we have a Basher actually coming out from the Anti-Mage. So we're going to have Basher fights to see which carry will reign supreme.
And it looks like the first match, well, the second match of the series, we're going to be able to find out who is the RNG
Wow.
king out of these two teams.
He just went Abyssal. He just went the whole 9 yards and picked up an Abyssal Blade. So now Anti-Mage has no buyback. That's pretty ballsy. I mean, I'll give it to him. They have one melee racks down and a BKB pickup on Storm now. This is RNG Kings. We'll see what happens. These team fights are going to get real big.
I find that's going to be great for the initiation. BKB, just dive in, Vortex, dive out, and you're going to be able to move around, and it just adds to his damage as well. So Executors need to be careful here.
Yeah, I mean, I always joke about it. It always makes me laugh whenever I see the website, when did EG throw last? I wouldn't even constitute this as a throw if they were to lose it. I mean, this is a close game, don't get me wrong. But both teams need to be careful, especially, let's look at the buybacks. Lifesteal, okay, so Lifestealer and Nature's Prophet are the only ones with buybacks right now. If they pick off this Anti-Mage, they need to be trucking in the middle lane, maybe in the top or bottom lane, it doesn't matter. They need to be taking some racks. Oh, and we gotta pick off, that Coddle's gonna pop. And Queen of Pain's Blink is gonna stick her out of this team fight, but they're going man mode on this Lifestealer. He gets bashed out, he missed his bash. Chaos. Lifestealer's gonna fall. Buyback coming out. Queen of Pain coming in now. Nature's Prophet's gonna die. He's probably gonna buy. No buyback? No buyback from the Lifestealer. Or no buyback from the Nature's Prophet. Lifestealer misclicks his Abyssal Blade and used it on an illusion. Whereas Ruvik picked up the correct Anti-Mage with Telekinesis. Uh-oh, they're just going to man up now that Purge is on cooldown. Defensive Disruption being used. Lifestealer's his rage is being burned out. Buyback by the Nature's Prophet. They're going to the Anti-Mage. They're trying to take him out. Are they going to be able to get him? They're going to bash. RNG procs take him out. Shadow Demon's also going to fall to the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet also taking out the Darkseer. Coddle dead from the previous engagement, and Queen of Pain is down. 2 buybacks. That was a 3 for 4. Very good trade, and now they can push out of it.
And at this point, Ben's party need to stop. Just stop going up that bottom lane, rotate back into the mid, and push all the way up. Push as much as they can. Okay, they're going to need to be wary of the Queen of Pain and the Keeper of the Light, but against 5 heroes, they're not going to be a threat, because they need to keep this Rax balance. They need to be able to, even if they take 1, they take Amelia Rax, and they even things out.
I mean, I like what they're doing, though. They're pushing bottom. They left the Nature's Prophet to defend, and they're just going to try and man this down. They'll probably be able to take at least the tower down. Oh, we got a pause coming out. I'm happy that they paused before anything happened. Nothing is more frustrating than mid-team fight pauses. But
and
they're
the
going
Lifestealer's picked up Boots of Travel as well. So that gives him, he's going to be able to catch out heroes because he's going to have that bonus move speed. He's going to be able to go back to the base if he's needed to, and then push a completely different lane.
Well, I mean, and that's exactly what, Nature's Prophet did. He TP'd back. At max level, his teleport only has a 20-second cooldown. So even though they lost the range racks to melee megas, but, he was able to come back in. He's going to clear out the rest of this creep wave, go heal, and then he's probably going to come back to the bottom lane, and they're going to try and take out these racks. And honestly, Ford is down! Or did they just pop it? No, Ford is down! So because Fortify is down, these racks are pretty much forfeit. It's unfortunate, though, that the mid-tier 2 tower is still up. Otherwise, Ben's party would probably be able to take 2 sets of racks. Unless they're gonna... I can't see them running all the way across the... trucking into the top lane from inside the base. That's a lot of tower aggro, a lot of tower damage. And... they're capitalizing as best they can. I like it.
Yeah, I can see them, if they pick up either the Keeper of the Light or the Queen of Pain and they take this tower, they take a set of racks, I could see them rotating back into the mid, taking this tier 2 tower, and then just backing off.
Yeah, definitely. Oh boy. Here it comes. Got the lag issues coming out, and Evercommon stopped downloading obscene material. Comment comes out.
I'm just glad we made it about 42 minutes into the match before...
our first big pause. Oh, and we have our... I agree with you. I'm very happy. We had a We've had a lot of the game be played already before big pauses. Very nice whenever the internet decides to cooperate, considering it is a mythical beast. Some days it decides to cooperate, other days it just kicks you in the shins. And we've got our unpause coming. And there we go. Tier 3 tower going down. Lifestealer also is able to get the last hit. He's going to activate his drum charges, of which he still has 2 left. There's your melee Rex. And there's your ranged Rex. Now what are they going to do? Shadow Demon's coming back up in 1 second. Darkseer's coming up in 14, and they're bailing, as they should. There goes the Lifestealer. There goes the Storm Spirit. Back to base. Regen up their health.
And I like this because it shows that they weren't greedy. You know, if they'd have carried on pushing, maybe even just to take some of the dire buildings, then they would have stuck around too long. They would have been open to a gank.
Uh-oh, we got a TP coming up. Solo Darkseer trying to apply some more pressure. We got a smoke coming out so that the Lifestealer... And so, oh boy, another pause coming out. Well, Darkseer's getting vacuumed in the middle of a sprout. Uh-oh, don't have time. See, Prophet looks so epic right now. He's about to throw out that sprout. Look at him.
Just the hand placement, you know, he looks like he means business.
He's just like, dude, I'm about to throw some trees around you, and you're not gonna like it. But vacuum going out. Darkseer's also in the middle of the level up animation, so he has the epic halo of light coming down from the skies. The gods decided to give me level, what is it, 20. Queen of Pain, let's see, she has her BKB, what's it down to? 5 seconds, so that's pretty big. She has had her scythe for a while, but hasn't really gotten anything out of it. 4 staffs on both supports of Executors, really putting a damper on Lifestealer's ability to farm. And Ghost Scepter on one, no Ghost Scepter on the other. Actually, Shadow Demon's got a Void Stone. Interesting to see what he's trying to go for that, but maybe a sheep himself. Rubik, on the other hand, opting for the multiple bracer build, always viable as supports. Give yourself some bonus health, make you just a bit more tanky.
I'm surprised that instead of going for the braces are good, but I'm surprised he didn't go into an urn, because then you get your mana regen, you get your heals for when you're near the kills, and it just seems better than casual braces to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It offers a lot of utility for your team, being able to give 400 health to allied units, and even in team fights against the enemy, being able to deal 100 damage to enemy heroes. As we mentioned at the beginning of the game, Gyrocopter has been farming up and has transitioned nicely into that second carry role. He finished his BKB himself and has a Yasha up. Probably going to see that transition into a mana style. And of course we have our super fat Lifestealer who finished up his Assault Cuirass and, as we mentioned before, BOTs. And he's sitting on 2100 gold again. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. Maybe sell his drums, pick up something else. As you mentioned, Desolator, very easy way to shred through the Anti-Mage. Health or otherwise, how tanky he is. Anti-Mage still dead, has his Abyssal Blade. Pretty. This was your standard Anti-Mage build. Lots of tank, ability to bash out targets. Very good.
And I do like this Gyrocopter rotating into a carry role with the Yasha, because it just means this flat cannon, it's going to do more damage, especially when heroes like the Queen of Pain are going to pop the BKB. You know, they're not going to need to rely on the magic damage to focus him down.
Sorry about that. Had some questions being asked of me. Just curious about Executors mentioned some he mentioned some time constraints. I just wanted to check to see if we might have to reschedule game 3, and as I'm sure you all can see by my chat, he wants it to go 2-0. They might use a stand-in. We'll discuss it later. I wish that didn't I wish that wasn't being broadcasted for everyone to see, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it, apparently. And you have Trollolo coming out. Especially if they're watching the stream, they'll be able to see that. Or it may just be that Storm's internet is acting up, which is definitely likely given the pauses that we've had to have. No big deal. Let's take a quick look at our... not our kill death, but our last hits. Animage sitting at a cool 355. What's his GPM? Oh, we got 612 GPM on the Animage and 602 on the Lifestealer. Who do these people think they are? Burning and Sylar? Like, get out of here.
And I mean, you've got to be looking as well. This anti-mage, I know he's got the Battle Fury, but to be out gold per minute, a lifesteal with a Hand of Midas since 4 minutes, that's really something.
What's up? And we got our reconnect coming in, just as he calls it. And it's continuing on your note. I mean, yeah, he's had a 4-minute Hand of Midas. He's been popping it whenever he can. But Animage has also been around in team fights. And on top of that, Animage has... what is his kill death? 10 and 5, Lifestealer 7 and 2. So Animage has been dead significantly longer than the Lifestealer is, but the Animage has been able to farm it up. And most of that is in part due to Blink being able to jump between creep camps and Battle Fury being able to cleave through these creep camps. And we're waiting a little bit more. No big deal. Pauses happen. Again, the Crosspoint Dota League is an international league. We have teams from across the country. And
across the globe.
That's what I meant to say. Excuse me, across the globe. I mean, you yourself are in the United Kingdom. I'm in the United States. That testament to ping issues. They happen.
And that's going to be great if I get put on maybe a, was it like 6 o'clock match in the US?
Oh yeah, that too. Definitely. Yeah. Oh, we got pings coming out. They're aware of the Animage going top, Darkseer and Animage rotating to the mid lane. He pops his mana style illusions probably to send him into the jungle or to scout. Very interesting though that now if they Nyx, I hear blinks. Uh-oh, someone's defensively disrupted. These supports look like they're going to get picked off. We got Purge used on somebody I couldn't tell. Bash out on the Darkseer. Abyssal Blade coming out on him. Silence coming out on the... oh boy, this team fight is a cluster. We got Nature's Prophet and Lifestealer going out. They do not have buybacks since they're still on cooldown. And RNG coming out, going out on the Gyrocopter, unable to bash him down, but he has blinks. He doesn't care. He's going to take out the Gyrocopter in one more blink. Maybe? There it goes. He gets the auto attack range for it. And Roshan is up in addition to that. Wow. They attempted to kill the Darkseer with Mech Pipe, and he just actually picked up a Vanguard, making him incredibly tanky. Pings are coming out. They know that... oh, pings are coming out. They don't want to do Roshan. They want to push. They could end the game right here, actually. And we have Animage going for their tier 3 tower top. I don't know why he stopped pushing. All that they have is Rubik and a Storm Spirit to defend. Go push! No, don't turtle! I don't like this decision.
No, with the 35 seconds of this lifestealer being down, they could have pushed in maybe to the tier 4s. They want to take this Roshan just to be safe, but I think if they were to push in, they could have taken a couple of towers, maybe could have taken the top racks, and maybe gone for the GG.
I mean, it's more the fact that you take their top racks or you take their tier 4 towers and then you back off and go take Roshan. Because if they leave, then their range is exposed. Like, Storm might be getting ballsy. No, they haven't picked it up! Oh, he's going to try and blink it and steal it, but he's not going to get it. Queen of Pain is going to burn her blink, and they're going to chase him, but his mana pool is huge. He's going to try and run away. If he's not careful, this Animage is just going to blink up. Okay, he runs up. Can't blink over, can't ball lightning over the high ground, but now he's going to get away.
And I think that just diving into the Roshan pit puts his team at risk, because if he would have got picked off, then it would have put the Executors at the advantage, and they're already a racks down, so if they'd have pushed in through the mid, then they could have taken a team fight on the high ground. You know, they wouldn't have to dilly-dally around on the low ground. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you go in through the middle, and then you just... oh, they're going to take out this tier 2 tower first, so that they have access to all of the racks. And can just go into the base like that. Nature's Prophet is going to get a pick-off. 3-man pick-off on the Queen of Pain. Ball Lightning. Nyx Infest Bomb. Queen of Pain immediately buys back. I can't say I agree with that buyback either, though. And they're just, oh, well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to use it to push because there are 3 heroes top. It looks like we might have a bit of a base race scenario as they're going to take down that tier 2 tower. Darkseer gets the last hit. Does Storm have a TP? Storm's TPing back. Lifestealer's TPing back. And here we go. The siege begins. Anti-Mage getting disrupted. There's going to be 5 Anti-Mage is pounding on that tower whenever he casts his Manta. Call down being used, trying to whittle down a little bit of the creep wave, and Queen of Pain is probably going to go down before this fight even starts. BKBs are being used. Up, she's able to blink out, and she uses her cheese. She's got full health. Darkseer's the subject of Nax's Abyssal Blade, and he gets turned into a chicken. He's dead. Immediate buyback coming out. Keeper of the Light staying alive with his Shadow Blade. Nature's Prophet lurking, picks him off. Storm Spirit is trying to run away from the Queen of Pain. Action's going on still on the base as Anti-Mage is cleaning people up. Is he going to get picked off? He's still alive. He's got barely... Oh, he blinks out. He's able to get away, but they're going to trade Shadow Demon for it. Keeper of the Light buying back. Darkseer may get... Oh, he's going to get picked off. Oh, man, big ball lightning coming out, trying to catch the Queen of Pain, but instead they may go for this Anti-Mage instead. It all depends if an Anti-Mage is going to try and man up and take this tier 3 tower because there are creeps in the base. Big team fight coming out. Ball lightning coming out. He doesn't have the mana! Oh, and he just got it off. He didn't have the mana to use his Orchid, and he's going to get picked off, but now they don't have anything to deal with him. All he has to do is use his Manta Style and try and run away. Queen of Pain's going to come in just as support in case she uses her buyback to come in. Mech's coming out. We got a chick coming out on the... Oh, RNG procs coming in. Vacuum being used to break the trees. We got Silence coming out on the Anti-Mage, and Lifestealer decided he wants to man up. This team fight's been going on so long. Quap is able to use her second BKB of the fight, and Anti-Mage is able to take out the top tier 3. In addition, Storm Spirit's coming back out with full mana health, using Ball of Lightning, Electric Vortex, trying to take out the Queen of Pain. We got a homing missile coming out on the Queen of Pain. She's going to be able to blink out, though. Wow. Wowzers.
And a big key factor of that team fight was once that dark wall was popped, the wall even from the Darkseer, that they just... Executors were able to control the fight and keep the action around that wall.
Anti-Mage was trying to be too much of a man and take out the top racks. Something that I completely neglected to mention is that the bottom racks were able to go down. Very aggressive play. I mean, honestly, had they picked off that Queen of Pain before she was able to pop her cheese and come back in and be a force, I mean, they took her down to 400, 500 health. She cheesed. They killed her. She bought back. They almost killed her again. I mean, Queen of Pain was huge in that team fight, being able to deal all of that damage with Scream of Pains, big Sonic Wave coming out. I mean, she was huge. And the fact that she was able to use BKB twice, so it's on a 50-second cooldown now. Team fight lasted roughly 100 seconds, a minute and 40. It's a long team fight.
Extremely, and that's what they need to be doing. They need to be just taking down as many heroes as possible. I mean, they've already got 2 racks, they're looking to take a 3rd, and they just keep them occupied while this creep wave pushes in.
No, exactly. Oh, Ball Lightning's coming out. They're going to try and pick off the Anti-Mage, and Fest Bomb coming out. Is he going to be able to... he actually hits the Abyssal Blade on the right target. Lift, and Anti-Mage is down. Wow. They're going to trade it. So they're going to trade a Nature's Prophet who has buyback for an Anti-Mage who doesn't, and now they're going to silence the Shadow Demon who's going to use his own Ghost Scepter. Big vacuum, able to pull all of the heroes into it, but Darkseer's going to fall. Queen of Pain's going to try and run. Shadow Demon's down too. Purge coming out on the Gyrocopter. Unfortunately, not enough to be able to take him out. They have to go big right now. They're going to try... Oh, Sheepstick coming out on the Nature's Prophet, being able to turn Queen of Pain into a pig. She's going to run, but Storm Spirit doesn't have the mana to chase, so Queen of Pain's going to be able to get out of here. Her own Sheepstick coming off of cooldown. And now they have to push. This is go big or go home. Like, they need to take this mid-tier 2. They need to take mid-racks, or even just screw it and go after the Ancient. Because if Anti-Mage is able to get back in, unfortunately this game may drag out as a result of Anti-Mage waiting for his buyback to come back. He's got another 3 minutes on it. Roshan's coming up himself in another 5. If Megas are taken by Executors, it's going to be hard for them. It's going to be hard for Ben's party to defend.
And this is a big thing. I think if they're looking to push, once maybe the Shadow Demon comes back up, put the Gyrocopter in the base because he's got the flat cannon and you can stop the push from all the creeps while you let the rest of your heroes push up.
And here we go. They're doing it. Oh goodness, Queen of Pain is going to get picked off here as a result. She does not have buyback for another 13 seconds. This tier 3 tower is going to go down. Anti-Mage isn't up for another 15. They're going to take this mid-racks. There goes the melee. There goes the range. What are they going to do? Are they going to transition top? Shadow Demon's attempting to harass them with, oh goodness, the tier 3 tower's already down, Ball Lightning going in, they're going to be able to silence out the Shadow Demon, buyback coming up by Queen of Pain the moment that it's up, and they're going to get Mega themselves! And we're going to have a team fight coming out. Unfortunately, Lifestealer's going to bite the dust. There it goes, Demonic Purge dealing damage. He does not have a buyback. Ben's party may be getting a little bit too greedy here, but they're all going to get out. Storm Spirit's going to sacrifice his life so the rest of his team can get out, and they're going to try. This might be a mega on mega fight, because Storm Spirit doesn't have buyback either. The only person that has it is Rubik, and he's running away with his Force Staff and Stolen Surge ability.
But the buyback for the Storm Spirit will be up in 25 seconds, which will be good for the next fight, as long as he doesn't spend the gold, he keeps it there. And I'd just like to point out this Lifestealer, he's got 5,300 gold, he's got a charge left on his Hand of Midas, and then he's got the gold from selling his Hand of Midas or his drums, and he's just gone a straight Desolator.
After he buys back is what's important.
Did he buy back? Did he have buyback?
He just bought back.
Ah, right.
He bought the Desolator, did the math, and Storm Spirit's going to buy back too, so it's all probably going to boil down to this team fight. But Nature's Prophet is not there. He's actually pushing the middle lane. Defensive Disruption being used, and Storm Spirit's getting hammered down. Call Down being used. Queen of Pain using her Screams of Pain. Darkseer's going to fall first. There goes the Storm Spirit. Mana Void too strong. He's turned into a sheep though. The Lifestealer's going to be able to bash him down. Queen of Pain's falling. Uh-oh. Not looking good. Keeper of the Light respawned and was just started defending. Shadow Demon's going to get silenced and picked up. He's going down. Wow. Wow. Big fight.
Yeah, and this Nature's Prophet's just going to push in this bottom lane. And they call the GG.
No, that's an offensive GG.
That's... oh.
That is bad-mannered. That is
pretty cheeky.
That is bad-mannered right there. And they're calling it. Sorry. They know. They know what they did, and they apologize for it. But they're gonna take Nature's Prophet, going to take out the tier 3 tower, and then they're going to take the Rex. Cheeky, cheeky, cheeky. Animage's buying back for one desperate last stand. Oh, Lifestealer's gonna get picked up because he had no health! Oh my god! Animage is stuck in the Sprout though. He's getting bashed. Where did he go? He's trying to take out the Nature's Prophet. He gets silenced. He's gonna be able to do it! And there it goes. Wow!
So we are in fact going to a game 3.
We are going to a game 3. Impressive play by both teams. Ben's party able to make a comeback, even with the bad manner GGs. And let's look at this GPM. Lifestealer, 667 at the end of the game. Animate, 634 at the end of the game. Big. Oh, long game.
And gosh darn it if that isn't something that you want to see every match. And
Negas on both sides. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Talk about stress. All right, guys. Go ahead.
What's interesting about a game, if you don't see 3 racks go down and then the other team just come completely wipe out the base. That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes Dota Dota.
Yeah, I mean, and you can still come back from it. Fantastic game by both sides. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll get it up with game 3. Hope to catch you guys there.